Once again, here we are. I'm Alex Labbe, and today we're going to make a hatchet handle. That's right, we're going to make a handle from a tree. This is not your typical DIY handle video. This is how I did it, HIDI. So I'm going to take you through a series of steps how I achieved the handle I made for this hatchet, which is right here. I'm not going to show you yet. I'm not going to show you. I began by researching into the ideal wood for axe handles. I've made some cedar handles in the past, and even though they look cool, like really cool, I found out that cedar was far from the ideal wood to make an axe handle out of. Hickory and white oak would be ideal axe handle woods. I wanted to start with something as close to a tree as I could. That's why I wanted to do the cedar one, because I had a bunch of cedar branches. I even went as far as to get my right-hand man, Bryce, to cut me a bunch of cedar off some logs that I had laying around. And that was before I did the research, so then I remembered my buddy Steve-O from Top Notch Cuts Tree and Lawn Service, yeah, right here in good old Carrollton, Georgia. He brought me a white oak. Yeah, a white oak tree we had slabbed up last year. I thought, what better handle could I get that come from a tree that my buddy dropped in Carroll County? So that's what we're gonna do here today. I even got the hatchet head out of my buddy's basement, brought him back to life. White oak it was. So I went to the wood yard right here on the property, and I picked the slab with the proper grain orientation. You want the end grain of the wood to run parallel with the axe head. And seeing as we had a whole tree and the way we slabbed it up, I had plenty of options for the grain orientation of this handle. So I grabbed the slab I wanted and I brought it back to the shop. I roughly cut some smaller stock out of the slab of white oak so it was just a little bit easier to work with. I used another hatchet to trace the handle shape. I then took a draw knife to the block of wood before I realized the block was too thick. So I planed the thickness down a bit. Next, I utilized my table saw and sled to remove material for the tenon that will be seated into the axe head. I then finished it by hand with a chisel. I sanded the handle with a flat disc to remove a bit of the tear out from the draw knife. I cut a slot into the handle tenon so I could drive a wedge in. I took a piece of scrap walnut and whittled a wedge out of it with a chisel. I drove that wedge home with a little bit of wood glue. I filled the rest with a bit of 5-minute epoxy. My battery died before I sanded the excess epoxy and the handle, and then finished the handle and axe head with boiled linseed oil. So, I guess you don't get to see it. I'm kidding! Check it out. This is it. This is the final product. White oak from a tree my buddy Steve-O cut down himself, and this old axe head came out of Imraz Khan's basement. A little hatchet looking like he's sticking his chest out. Like, thanks for watching my video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow along. I appreciate it.